You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about just following the ritual work.
Yeah.
And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear.
Back when Larenz Tate was a sitcom kid, he did have a lot of shows that didn't last. And I'm pretty sure at one point he felt like his career was not going in the direction it should. See, this is a testament that what is for you, and things happen in divine timing.
The real deal is we don't own any platform the way we should. There's a few Black-owned platforms, but we don't have a lot of outlets. We don't have as many. So we're not sort of governing over these entities or these corporations.
Katt Williams has been warning us for years. Hollywood ain't built for the real ones. It's the phonies, the puppet masters, and the ones who play the game that get all the shine. But if you've got morals, principles, you're a problem. And according to Katt, that's exactly what happened to 90s heartthrob Larenz Tate. Yeah, the same Larenz who had the whole culture on fire with Menace Society, had the ladies losing it over Love Jones, and delivered straight-up Black excellence every time he hit the screen. Then, poof, he vanished. No drama, no handcuffs, no breakdowns. Just gone. No major roles, no big returns. Hollywood slammed that door like he never existed. So what happened? Katt didn't spill the full tea, but he dropped enough hints to make it real clear. Larenz might have said nah to the shady stuff that goes on behind closed doors. You know, the things some actors agree to just to level up in the industry. But when you don't bow down in Hollywood, they see you as a threat. And if they can't control you, they cut you loose. Now we gotta ask, what exactly did Larenz walk away from? What lines did he refuse to cross, while others just smiled and stepped over him? And why would they blacklist a man with that much talent like he was never even there? Let's dig in.
Like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
Back in the 90s, Larenz Tate was that dude. You couldn't escape him. He was everywhere. He bodied his role in Menace II Society as the wild, trigger-happy O-Dog, cold-blooded and unforgettable. Then he flipped it and hit us with Dead Presidents, playing a broken soldier, eyes full of pain and truth. And in Love Jones? Man, Larenz had women hooked like crazy. Playing the smooth, poetic Darius Lovehall, he had that soft charm that hit different. But Larenz wasn't just another Hollywood face. He was ours. Black men looked up to him. Black women adored him. He had the looks, the skill, the vibe. And he wasn't out here clowning or bringing shame to himself or the culture. No scandals, no fake headlines, no messy thirst for fame. He just showed up, did the work, and crushed every role. But then, silence. No meltdown, no drama, no big I quit moment. Just silence. One day he was the next big thing, and then it was like someone cut the volume on his whole career. Muted, gone. And that's what makes it shady. Usually when stars disappear, there's a blow-up. Rehab, lawsuits, something wild. But with Larenz, nothing. Just ghosted from the spotlight. Sure, he's popped up in a few things here and there, but that shine he once had never came back. And guess what? It's starting to look like Katt Williams knew the deal. Word is, Larenz started turning down roles that felt off. Roles that played into ugly stereotypes. And yeah, one of them? Cross-dressing. He wasn't with it. And just like that, Hollywood wasn't with him. Larenz wasn't going for it. He wanted roles with real weight. But in Hollywood, when you say no one too many times, they stop ringing your line. That's just how it works. And let's be honest, the industry don't exactly roll out the red carpet for too many clean-cut, confident black men who know their value and won't beg for a seat at the table. That energy makes them nervous. Hollywood's always had this invisible cap. Only a few black men get to shine big at the same time. They'll crown one, give him the Oscar, the prime roles, the big-budget legacy. But the rest? They're expected to play the wingman, the best friend, or fade into the background. At the same time, look at where the money's going. Same recycled urban struggle stories. Same roles soaked in pain, violence, and chaos. Why? Because like Spike Lee already said, Hollywood is real cozy with black pain. It's profitable, it's predictable, And most of all, it doesn't challenge the folks pulling the strings. That's the ugly truth.
Until we get into the position of being gatekeepers, if we're not in the room, if we don't have a green light vote, it's not getting done. Somebody in the studio has to say, we're making this.
So every time there is, as you said, everybody's talking about this is now a new wave of black films. Do you think it's
Hogwash.
Hogwash. You don't think it signals a big shift in consciousness? No.
Not buying it.
Not buying it.
Shenanigans.
A black man with self-respect who won't sell out for a paycheck? That's a threat to the whole system. That's the kind of man kids might look up to. That's the kind of man who might start calling out the game, and they can't have that. So yeah, they'll give you one Denzel. But even Denzel had to be flawless. 10 times sharper, 10 times more composed, never missing a step. Larenz Tate didn't fade away because he lacked talent. He had it all. He vanished because he refused to play the part they scripted for him. He said no to their blueprint. And that's exactly what Katt Williams has been warning us about for years, loud and clear. People used to clown Katt Williams, calling him crazy or bitter. But now, folks are spinning the block and realizing he was spitting facts. And that's exactly why they tried to silence him. One thing Katt always brings up is how Hollywood tests you. Everyone stays locked in on the whole dress debate. But according to Katt, it's deeper than that. It's not just about wearing a dress, it's about breaking you down. It's about humiliation and control. Before they let you in that final room, there's always a moment, a challenge, where they try to make you cross a line. Something that shakes your pride, something you'd never do if you had real power. And once you give in, they own you. But Katt didn't stop there. He took it even deeper and said this isn't just about Hollywood being shady. He called it spiritual. He started connecting the dots, saying some of these so-called rituals ain't just about fame. They're tied to dark forces, to elite worship and secret power moves. According to Katt, this ain't about a costume. It's about submission, sacrifice, and giving into something far bigger and way darker than a movie set.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future.
Now let's bring it back to Larenz Tate. This man had everything: talent, charm, respect, looks. But he didn't vanish because he wasn't good enough. Nah, he probably made it to that infamous door and chose to walk away. Larenz hinted at it in interviews. He didn't fall off. He stepped off. He didn't sell out. He didn't bite when they dangled the bait. But here's the thing. He didn't just dip from the Hollywood game quietly. He started speaking up, saying the kind of truths that make big studios squirm in their chairs. He called out what a lot of black actors are scared to touch: the pay gap. Even with all this talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, Larenz let it be known, black actors are still being underpaid, even when they bring the same heat, pull in the same box office numbers, and got the same loyal fans riding for them. He spoke on what they don't want aired out, and that's when the silence around him really got loud.
We work twice as hard to get twice as less as our counterparts, right? And that being said, we're not valued. I believe we're supposed to be valued. So those budgets are really important for us so that we can have the kind of quality that we can present to the consumer. And the smaller the budget, the more creative you have to get. And we don't have resources oftentimes as our white counterparts.
This is exactly the kind of truth Hollywood wants buried. They expect black actors to just smile, take whatever's handed to them and stay quiet. Be grateful, play the part, and never question the system. But the second you start speaking on fairness or real power, they start moving behind the scenes to shut you down. Look at Taraji P. Henson. Look at Monique. The moment they stood up and spoke out about being underpaid and disrespected, suddenly they were labeled difficult, ungrateful, or hard to work with. But when white actors fight for more money, they get praised for knowing their worth and being business savvy. Same game, but different rules. And that double standard is loud.
And I heard on this, have to. The math ain't mathin'.
But Larenz Tate didn't stop at just talking about paychecks. He went deeper. He called out the fact that throwing a few black faces in lead roles and cutting them a check ain't enough. The real issue? Who's behind the camera? Who's calling the shots? Who decides which stories get told and which ones get buried? Because as long as that power stays locked in the same hands, nothing truly changes. Larenz said it best. Representation without control is just decoration, and Hollywood knows it.
Deal is we don't own any platform the way we should. There's a few black-owned platforms, but we don't have a lot of outlets. We don't have as many. So we're not sort of governing over these entities or these corporations to say, hey, you guys have a great story, y'all want to tell it, and there's money to be made, come here. So when we do find those places, everybody's trying to go through one keyhole. Everybody's trying to go through one tunnel. And even when you go to non-black-owned places, they'll tell you to go over there because they have to find value in what we do. And that's changing quite a bit as we're making it very clear.
But Larenz Tate didn't sell out, and that's exactly why they wiped him out. He didn't play their game. He didn't bow his head. He didn't trade his pride for paychecks. And the cost? They cut him off. The offers slowed down. The big studio calls stopped. The media acted like he didn't exist. He went from leading man to ghost, not because he lost talent, but because he refused to let the machine own him.
Historically, Hollywood has always taught us we don't translate overseas or worldwide. Right. But when you start traveling and you go everywhere and you can't walk down the street, you then know that there's been somebody telling you something all along that's wrong. And my true belief as to why they do it is because Hollywood likes to sort of devalue black artists and black folk because you get super talented people at a discounted rate. You get a Hollywood likes to get really talented black folks and get them at a discounted rate. Only certain superstars that can hit that level that they would feel like they would put a machine behind. But the truth of the matter is we do translate because we're humans just like everyone else.
But when you start traveling and you go everywhere, and that's why Hollywood didn't just cancel Larenz Tate. They buried him, quietly, like they always do to anyone who won't play puppet. When you're too clean to drag through the mud but too strong to control, they erase you in silence. But now the truth's starting to slip out. And the fact that Katt Williams named Larenz, that speaks volumes. Because no matter how hard they try to keep the truth under wraps, real ones always speak up, eventually. Larenz Tate didn't fall off, he escaped. And now, the truth is leaking, piece by piece. So let's hear it. What do you think really happened to Larenz? Did he say no to the rituals Katt's been exposing? Was it just about money and respect? Or is this whole thing way deeper than that? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And keep your eyes locked in for the next one, because we're not done yet.